Okay, I do believe we're recording right now.
Great. Well, welcome to everybody who's joined the call. It's an exciting opportunity to get together and talk about the BMI that is available for you to use on your website. And pretty much what we've got, Cindy and I have put together is something to kind of help you with understanding not only where it fits in, how it fits in, how to put it on your website, and you know, some ideas about promoting it. So we're going to start with kind of why this tool is a benefit. Then we'll move into the logistics, how to put it on your website, and we'll finish with talking about how to promote it and utilize it to promote your business. Glad to take any questions. Glad to take any questions along the way as we can. Same time, in order to try to keep this all on time, we will potentially ask to have some questions pushed toward the end. I think what we'd like to do, Cindy, are you with me?
I'm with you.
Excellent. So what I think we'd like to do is start by kind of talking a little bit about how the BMI has benefited us, and I think that you know, for me, I have been utilizing the tool for quite some time, and have found especially that when I'm just getting a lot of feedback, so I'm trying to ignore that. So I've had it on my website for quite some time and have experienced extensively the benefit that when I talk to people or when I set up a meeting or I establish something where I'm going to get together with people and meet them for the first time, that they often go and check out my website, and I encourage them to go ahead and take the BMI. And most of the time that I meet people, even if I didn't encourage them to take the BMI, they have gone out to my website and have taken it, and I get all the answers to all those questions before we even sit down to start talking. On my website, I actually have some videos and other things, so they also feel like they've gotten to meet me a little bit before they sit down and start talking. And that is quite usual if you get your website built out. But if you don't have something like the BMI, you haven't really started the discovery process with them. What we've done when we've created the BMI is created a tool that's intended to help create pain, help create a sense in the mind of the prospect that they really have some things that they ought to talk to you about. And so
Michael,
by getting that process started, that's...
you're getting feedback?
I am.
You're using the telephone, aren't you?
I am.
Can you mute your computer?
My computer is not actually giving me any feedback.
I think that's John Denny's computer.
Oh, guys, should we? I don't know how to mute everybody. Does anybody know how to do that?
Just if you're using a speaker to listen to this, mute your own microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually dialed in on the phone because the phone might help.
I don't know how to mute my thing. I've got no background noise, but guys, I don't know how to mute my own computer.
By your name.
There's a green button right in.
Oh, thank you. I'm muted.
Wow. Now I've got some silence. That's a lot better. Thank you.
Well done.
All right. Yes, thank you. Basically what I was trying to say is they have already started the pain chain. They've already started to, you're welcome, John. they have already started to figure out what the things are that they might want to talk to you about. And so that really adds to our credibility, to my credibility as a coach. And it helps create the sense on their part that they've already started working with me, they've already met me, and they feel like they've already started the interaction. Cindy, you had a story you want to tell as well.
Yeah, I actually have had a couple of potential clients go onto my website and take the assessment, and it's kind of what solidified for them a lot of pain that they didn't even realize that they had. So when I met with them, it helped solidify with them that they did need some business coaching, and it really put me ahead of the game when I met with them, because not only did I have the information from the assessment, almost like a mini BEE in front of me, they already went through the painful questionnaire and already knew that they were lacking in certain areas. And so when you meet with them, it really puts you in the driver's seat in the prospecting. You know, they're almost already convinced they need coaching before you even get there. And I'm not saying that benignly. I'm saying that you know, in 2 occasions I've had 2 potential clients. Both of them have turned into clients from it. So, you know, so far so good. It's working for me.
Yeah, and I would add that I've had that experience as well. Although for me, the benefit of people utilizing it before we even meet for our appointment has been extensively good, and it has brought some additional clients. For Cindy, I think it's amazing. You've had it up for what, about a month and a half, 2 months now, Cindy?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and already 2 clients that were unsolicited that have come through utilizing that tool as a part of their I guess their research on you, huh?
Yeah, they were given my name by whatever reason, so I guess unsolicited isn't quite. But when they went on there, it really did help. Help with the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
got me head and shoulders above.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
That's okay. Let's talk about what?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the connection to the BEE. At one point in time, this had been referred to as the mini BEE, and we kind of changed the name on it because we wanted to get away from the denotation that it was a BEE. Because in reality, although there are things in here that are, and questions that are connected to roughly what the BEE asks about, it really is not intended to replace the BEE, but it really just adds a dimension to it. In particular, what this does is it's really a precursor to the BEE. If you think about it, if you were to to want to evaluate your business, the first thing that you might want to do is to get yourself into understanding, where am I on one spectrum for my whole business? Every part of my business adds up together to a single number. Now, as you all know, the BEE is really about taking the business and digging into it and pulling apart all of the 10 different areas of the business, and then 10 different subpoints within each of those, and saying, where are you excelling and where do you have opportunities within your business? So it's really more of a deep dive diagnostic tool that really helps you to identify and put your finger on exactly what the issues are. This BMI doesn't do that. What the BMI does is it really helps you to realize and understand the journey that's ahead of you, the destination that you want to get to, and the journey and how far you're needing to go. And so it gives you an overall understanding where you are in the maturity of your business. And what that does is it really sets up excellently for coming in and saying, now that we understand that you are here and you want to get there, what would be the specific things that we need to go in and work on together in order to help move you from here to there? What's the action plan need to look like? guess what? We have a tool that companions itself with what you've already taken and will allow us to diagnostically figure that out. It's called the BEE.
Yeah. And on top of
Any
that,
thoughts on that, Cindy?
sorry, on top of that, it gives you a chance to get your client or your potential client, anyone who lands on your website, to actually get them engaged and stay on your website for a long time and really understand some of the issues in their business a lot more by just taking these 25 or 20 questions. So the engagement part is really key, gets them interested beyond just the 14 seconds that a normal website gets people interested for.
Yeah, I'd like to add to what you said there, Cindy. I think that's excellent, because when you think about sales, what are we supposed to do near the beginning of our sales process? What we're supposed to be doing is we're supposed to be asking questions and staying in discovery mode. What is a website? It's really a big presentation. It's really a big megaphone talking about you and everything about you and what you think you do well and what support and advice you have for people. This gives you a different dimension to your website that actually allows your customers and your prospects to interact or to involve themselves in more discovery, which is really the stage you want them to be at when they come to your website, as opposed to jumping forward to, I'm great and here's why. And so it really, I think, adds to that, just like Cindy said. For whoever's joining, just make sure that you're on mute, if you don't mind, to help all the rest of us with this call. For a second here, if there are any questions on what we've talked about thus far, go ahead and unmute and let us know that you have a question. And we'll go through a couple questions here if there are any before we jump into how to actually do it on your website. All right. I will assume the silence to mean there were no questions. So why don't we jump in and take a look at where the tools are and what you need to do in order to make it work. I'm going to utilize the PBCA website, and I'm going to utilize Cindy's website in order to take a look at where we're at on how we do this. So first of all, the question is, where do you find the files and the information? And right now it's in the forum. I don't know if at some point Paul will move them over to the library. But for right now, under PBCA member services, it says BMI is now available. And in the first post, I've given you some information and a link to Cindy's site where it was implemented so you can see how it's done. There are a few other sites that have also done it. We can take a look at maybe one other today. And then there's a zip file that you can download called BMI Deploy Tools. When you click on this, it's going to download a zip file, and depending on your browser, you may get a message down here. If you're on Internet Explorer, it may come up with a pop-up box. But one way or another, you should be used to how your browser downloads files. And then you click on it, and you're going to see the contents of a zip file. Now, what I'm going to do is just use the preview pane, and you'll notice that the titles, there's one called 0A Start Here, BMI Tool Directions. And if you click on that, can everybody, can one person please, actually Cindy, would you confirm that you can see?
I can see Start Here, but it hasn't
on my screen
yet. Is that right? Yeah.
Okay. Nothing's open. Okay, so the directions I just want to take you through real quick. It says to start by downloading the template pages for each of the 4 levels. and using an HTML editor, edit these pages to fit into your website and style. What we're really saying here is that you need to start by taking some of the suggested text that we've put out there and to create the pages that are on your website that when they get done with the BMI, they will go to. So when they take the assessment, they get told that they are in one of 4 levels, and those 4 levels direct them to a website, which is actually a page of your website. And so you need to have a place to send them. And you need to have 4 different places to send them so that depending on the outcome, they get a different response. Now let's take a quick look at what those are. You'll notice down here in the 2s, there's the level 1 template, the level 2 template, the level 3 template, and the level 4 template. So if I double click on the level 1 template, what you see is a Word document that has the text in it. Assessment results. Your survey response indicates that you're operating your business similar to our clients who are at level 1, worker, entrepreneur. And then there's some text. This is where Henry Ford and Richard Branson started too, blah, blah, blah. These areas include some things, some suggestions. Now, all of this text that's on here, you would copy and paste into a page that you lay out in whatever way your website, you want your website to look, because this text will actually be on your website. You can obviously modify this to your heart's content. You can change the name of the level if you wanted to, or anything else that you want to do in order to update the system. And there are actually 4 of these templates that you can download, as well as one called Your Website BMI Intro and the BMI Model, which are things that you can put on the front end of the website so that people will want to click and actually take your assessment. Okay? Now, once you go through and you do that, it says to make note of the URLs of those 4 pages, meaning what are the names of those that if you typed it into your browser, you would get to those pages. So as an example, if I go to Cindy's website, and Cindy, do you happen to remember the name of the page, one of the pages?
Huh? Oh, you mean the exact pages? Shoot.
Yeah, I can find it out.
Okay.
Just a sec. Oh, no, actually I can't. I'd have to be logged in as you.
I'll go into my page and see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, if you could do that, please.
Sure.
So you have to actually make sure that you know what the URLs were of those 4 pages that you've created on your website. And then it says you create a page that describes the BMI tools and what the 4 levels are. And once again, that you would create utilizing the your website BMI intro. So this template here is for you to use to create the intro page that you would want to have, and this is a copy of the model in Word format, so you can change any of the text if you wanted. And here is the text that you could put in there. Now let's go over real quick because we can get this real fast and take a look at how Cindy did it. So if you click on her link here, it takes you right to the assessment. And if you click here, it takes you to her page that says Business Growth Index. You'll notice this text looks an awful lot like what we had the other place. Which level are you in the Business Growth Index? What strategies? Simple 20 question. Find out where you are. Click here after the evaluation you'll be able to download. If I put my Word document, you'll notice that text that she basically copied and pasted and did a little bit of formatting from. And here's that model that she made some changes. Now you'll notice the standard for PBCA says worker, entrepreneur, business leader, manager. Cindy has actually made some changes to hers. She calls hers developing, growing, flowing, and rewarding. So she can change any of this because that's the nature of PBCA, right? That you can make modifications and take things and make them work for your benefit. Did
I have the
you
mic.
have,
Yeah. Where's Gene?
Cindy?
Yeah, content/working is one.
Okay. Oh, working.
Oh,
and a one.
okay. Startup instead of working.
Okay.
I think it, yeah,
So
there you
here
go.
as an example is her page that people would get if they were in the developing stage. Okay? And if you look at this, you'll see she basically has copied and pasted into her page, into her website, the contents of
Level 1, yep.
this one, of level 1, except she changed the name when she did it so that on her website it says developing. Right? So back to the direction again. Basically it's saying make sure you note the URL of those 4 pages. So in the example that we just gave, you'd want to note that the name of your page was Thrive Business CA Content Startup. All right, that's one of the 4 pages. And so then basically you would need to then go through and then keep following these directions. Now, once you've got your website kind of set up, so you've got your intro page where you've copied the contents from the intro, you've got your 4 pages for the outputs where you've copied the contents there. And by the way, if you want, we've included a BMI model as a picture because you can't really copy a Word diagram onto a web page. It doesn't work. But we've created a picture for you if you want it as is. If you want to change the model at all, you can change it in here and then take a picture of it yourself. But once you've created these 5 pages, or if you have a web designer who you can say, here's the content I want on 5 pages, make them and tell me what the page names are, okay? That's really the most complicated part of setting up the BMI, is copying and pasting that text into 5 pages. And for most of us, that'll, like I said, be the most complicated part. From there, I'm going to stop following the directions. You can follow them later. And I'm going to just kind of demonstrate or show you what you would do. All right? So over here, in order to manage the BMI, what you would do is you would go to Strategic Partners, and this is all in the instructions. It tells you where and shows you screenshots of this. And then you see this Edit Your Business Maturity in eval. You would click that button. Now when you do that, now because it's me that's logged into the website, it came up and showed me all of my information here. If it was you and you hadn't done this before, it's all going to be blank, won't it? Because you've never gone here before to put anything in here. So what you'd do is you would fill out your first name, your last name, your email address that you want to have the prospect see. You get to give your own title to the evaluation, all right? So you can call it the BMI, you can call it the Business Maturity Index, you can call it whatever you want, and we will use that name anywhere where the name is supposed to be used all throughout the system so that you can even name this thing yourself. So you just give it the title, BMI, you give it whatever you want to call it, in your system. And then you can load up a banner logo. So you can click Choose File, and then you pick a file off of your computer that has your logo in it. Okay? And then it will then display that logo here in the size that it's going to display in the survey itself. Then what you do is you put in the URL. If the user were ever to click your logo, where would they go? And you put that in. So you'll notice I just put my regular EssentiaBA.com website there. Then for Category 1 URL, you would have, as an example, you might have category 1.html might have been the place that the page that you had for Category 1. And that was the URL that you had for that page. Then you have your Category 2, your Category 3, and your Category 4. So if you named them, just like I showed here, you would just put in those pages that your web designer or you added to your website, and just put in their names right here. Okay? Then you would go on and you would answer a couple other questions. But before I go on, I want to stop and ask for questions. Does everybody fully understand everything that I've explained thus far? Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Michael, this is John. What's the best logo? Is it a GIF, a JPEG, a PMG? What kind of file would be best to put in there?
Yeah. The best files generally for web are GIF files, GIF files. But any file that can be displayed by browsers should be fine.
Okay.
This is Mark.
Files are best. Go ahead.
Quick question. When you log into this program, you use your regular PBCA username and password?
Yes. Let me go back. I am in the, if we want to go over here to the forum, I am logged in as Michael.
Okay, thank you.
Then I went to Strategic Partners, and I clicked here. Okay, and that's what took me to this page where I was able to edit all of this information. Good question.
Thank you very much.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
So it's Jim Fitzgerald. So your website points to the PBCA site under the various areas where the URLs, and that's how you populate your own website?
When, I think I understand your question. When the assessment is complete, after they've answered all of the questions and it's been tallied, they will, the assessment will then, this PBCA app hb.com will then redirect them. The last page they get after they're done with the assessment is actually a page on your website, not a page on PBCA@hb.com.
Right, but to get the
ad, taking the questions, then they go to your website, which would be one of these pages down here.
So, but it still goes through the PBCA website to get to the page that's on your own website. The directions, the URL. The URL sits on the PBCA.
Yeah, the programming that actually allows for the questions to be asked and totals up the questions and sends out the emails with the information and all of that is not something that goes on your website. That program is hosted in the sky. But when it's done, it sends the people back to your page. Did that answer your question, or did I not understand?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions at this point?
Michael, this is Michael Mills. If someone takes this assessment, how do we know that they've taken the assessment?
Because after the, it's a good question, after the assessment is taken, the system will automatically take all of the content of what they filled out and will send an email to this address right here.
Thank you.
With all of their
have
content
received,
and information.
Yeah, I receive an email that says somebody, a potential prospect took the survey or something. And it actually sends me the assessment results right there with the email.
An email, and it explains in the directions here, will look somewhat like this. You blow this up so you can see it a little bit better. So new prospect response, new submission received, survey details, the name, the phone number, the email, the date, the time, the score, the category level, the URL that they were sent to, and then it starts out and says on page 1 they were asked this question, this was their answer. This question, this was their answer. This question, this was their answer. So you will get an email like that.
And Michael, further to that, if you go down a bit on that survey, if you click on send thank you email, I clicked on that, and the person who actually takes the survey gets an instant email from me saying thank you for taking the survey, and it makes it so you don't have to, but it also gives you a chance to follow up with them at a later time. So it's a nice feature to have as well.
Yep, and I'll get to, I want to talk a little bit about that option and the form requirement.
Got ahead of you.
No, that's okay. I want to talk about that here in just a second. I wanted to make sure that the customizing and the putting the information in about which pages, the 5 pages that you create on your website, that we were clear on that. Any other questions on any of that at this time? Okay, so for the next step on this page, and with segue that Cindy gave us, there are 2 pieces in here that you need to think about. One of them is the form requirement, and under here your choices are require all, require name and phone, require name and email, nothing required, or don't display the contact form. So at the very end, after they've answered all of the questions, but before they get redirected to your page, one of these 4 up here, they will be asked for, the contact form will come up asking them to tell us who they are. Your choices are, and it has 3 fields on it. It has name, phone, and email. So your choices are to require the name and the phone, the name and the email, require the name, phone, and email, require nothing, or don't even display the form. Now, I'm not sure why we would not want to not display the contact form and not have people, collect information, but there are some people who have a really strong feeling about that that they want to make it so that they're not collecting any information on you. It's completely anonymous. If you like what you see, then you can call the phone number and talk to us. And if you want that, then you'd probably choose don't display contact form or nothing required, so they could go to that screen, fill in nothing, and hit next, and it would still move for them and give them their response. So that's the 2 last choices. Either it brings the screen up, gives them an option to fill it in, but they don't have to, or it doesn't even display the contact form, it just takes them directly to the answer. The first 3 alternatives are requiring, in order for them to go on and get the answer or the assessment results from one of your 4 pages, they would have to at least fill something in. Now, there is nothing that is going to make sure that the email address they give you or the phone number they give you isn't bogus. If that's what they want to do, that's their prerogative. But they would at least have to fill it in with something.
Michael, is there a privacy declaration anywhere nearby this?
I don't.
If they're giving their name and email or something that specifies how that information will be treated?
Do you mean the NSA is not going to capture that information?
Well, yeah, that it will be kept private and that it's only used to respond to you after you take the test or take the form.
I don't remember. Can you hold your question until we'll actually go through real quick and see how it operates? So
Okay,
let's
sorry.
look. I don't remember what's on there in terms of that.
One question I have, Michael, I required information for mine, but if I didn't require information, would I know they even took the test? I don't think I would get that email.
You would know they took the test, but it wouldn't have any name information in it. But you'd know somebody took the test, and here were their answers.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I mean, you'd know that it was happening, but you wouldn't know who to contact. And if they fill out bogus information, it'll work the same way, obviously.
Well, I've had people take it that I knew took it and did put in bogus information, but I knew they took the test. So I wondered if it worked if you didn't require any information.
Nope, it will still send you the email with the information. It just obviously is going to be blank for the...
Right. Okay. Thanks.
And then the send thank you email, you have two choices on this. The thank you email has been predetermined and cannot be changed. It is sent from as if it were sent from your email account. So it looks like it came from, in my case, michael@essentia.com. All right, and you cannot change the text of it. It is what it is, it will go to, if they fill in the email address. Obviously, if you don't require them to fill it in, then it can't send a thank you. But if they do fill in the email address, it will send a thank you email to them from your email address automatically just by checking this box. If you don't want that, as an example, if you looked at the text and you said, well, I do not want that sent out, that is not the email I want sent, then simply uncheck this box, and then when you receive an email from the system telling you that somebody took the assessment, you send your own email, personal email, however you want to, thanking them or starting communication with them or whatever you want to do. But the automation that would automatically send them a thank you immediately to their email address at 2 o'clock in the morning would be turned off. But you would still know, and you could still respond yourself if you wanted to. This is a convenience if you like how the thank you note is written and you're okay with it. It's pretty generic, pretty straightforward. It shouldn't be objectionable. We tried to write it so that most PBCA coaches would feel comfortable with it. Now, once you fill this out, you would then save the eval details. And it will send you an email that says that you have to be enabled. The PBCA will have to enable you in other words, they have to validate that you're, that everything is all right with your subscription with the PBCA, et cetera. And they will check a box right that checks the box to basically enable you to be able to use this function. As soon as that's done, you'll receive another email that says you've been enabled, congratulations, and then what you can do is take this text right here, it says survey HTML for site, copy and paste that as a link anywhere on your website. And wherever that's done, when you go into your website, it'll create a link in that spot on the website that will start them into the survey. If you'd like to see what that survey looks like, there's a preview survey button at the top, which you can click. It takes you in so you can see what that survey looks like. You'll notice my logo up here, and if I click that logo, it actually takes me to my website, essentiava.com. because remember, that's what we told it to do. It has a progress bar, and it asks the questions, and they fill it out. We'll go ahead and just do this. Actually, I was going to do this on Cindy's. So she has this link. If you look down in my lower left-hand corner, you'll see that the link it's going to looks an awful lot like what we saw over here, down here, like that, okay? All right. So actually, the email that it sends you, when it says that you're enabled, has that link in it, so you can just pull the link right out of that email. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to say we're 2 to 6 years, 1 to 2.5 million, mostly, yes, yes, sink or swim. If you want to spend the time to go through and see what the questions are, feel free to do that off of the call. I'm not going to cover those here in this call. So you keep going, next, and it requires that they answer all of the questions. Here it is. Here and there is your information. There's your answer. All provided information is confidential and will not be sold or distributed to outside parties. So I'll put in my name, my phone number, and my email. And I hit submit. Now, what this will do is it's going to take me, notice where I am right now, folks. I'm on this site right up here. And when I hit submit, it's actually back on Cindy's website, and it says that I'm in growing. Now, Cindy should have gotten an email with all the answers to my questions. Cindy, are you able to forward that to me? Okay.
Look at that. There it is. Forward. It's off to you.
Okay, looks like a couple people are wanting to use this. As I said, I'm the person that approves those, so that's why I'm getting those emails asking me to approve them.
Oh, did a whole bunch of people send them?
Yeah. Okay. So here's what it looked like. She forwarded it. It says Michael Anderson. There's my phone number. There's my email address. The time, I think, is in Greenwich Mean Time or something. The score was 530 out of 940. I scored a level 2 to the growing page. Here are the answers and actually the scores of each of the components of how many points they got for that answer, totaling up to their score up here. Okay. So all the information is given to you, so you know it's 50 out of 80 for that. They got 70 out of 80 for their answer, mostly in this question, et cetera. So you have all this information available before they come see you. All right? Okay. So once you have completed all of this information, then we'll it will let you utilize the system, and you put that link on your website, and people can go take it, just like here. Another one that has done this is, and this is actually one of our newer coaches who actually also utilized the strategic partnership to help create their website with the Create Wow and the part that allows for creation of blog posts and things. myawesomecoach.com. This was the website that he had created, and on here he has the BMI survey, and you can go to what is the BMI survey, and you'll see he's modified a little bit. He's got some of the text here. He's got his different levels, kind of his tabs explained. And then he's got his link here, I'm ready to take the BMI survey. So when people click that, just like on Cindy's, they go here, only it says My Austin Coach, and then they go through all the same things, and when they're done, it would actually take them back to a page on his website, which explains where they were at, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Okay? So that's how it works from each different website, and it works seamlessly into what you're doing, and your customers would be able to take it and get the response, and they're back on your website, so you can put anything on that page, links off to other pages in your website, links to offers on your website, anything you want that you want to customize. One of the things we would also recommend is having links to that in multiple different places. If I go over to my own website, I'll show you a few things here. Up in the top here, I have a little page turner, and you can click here to take the business growth cycle evaluation. It says unsure where to start, take the strategic growth cycle evaluation. Up here, take the evaluation. You can go over here and get my page that explains how it works and what my model looks like and all that sort of thing. And there are also other places, if you look in my blogs, there are other places where there are links that say, click here to take the evaluation. So the idea is, remember that the evaluation is for you so that lead can basically come through, take that evaluation, and that's kind of the method by which they can start working with you. So you want to use that in different places, wherever you think it makes sense for people to come and interact with you. So Cindy has a place on her homepage. She has a place up here on the menu, and I'm sure, Cindy, you probably have places in blogs and other places where you probably linked back to it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on how to go about that when you download that package, in here are all of the things in the process and the steps with screenshots you can see I'm scrolling through that tell you where to go, how to go there, what to do in order to be able to set this thing up. And the most complicated thing is setting up 5 pages on your own website. Yes, ready for questions.
Hey, Michael, it's Paul Cordemosh. I have a question. If I want to be proactive and send out to my LinkedIn colleagues an email for them to take the survey, can I do the same thing that you have taken me through tonight with my website, in addition to my website?
Hello?
Yes?
Yes. Did you ask,
yes.
Can you do that?
Yes. Can we do that? Can I put this in an email and send it to my LinkedIn files?
Yes, because just like you see here on her website,
Yes.
If you see that link down in the lower left-hand corner, pbca.apphb.com, that link could be put anywhere, including inside of an email.
Perfect.
My real suggestion to you would be, if you're going to do email marketing like that, create yourself what we call a landing page.
Yep.
A
Absolutely.
page on your website that is only, and then link to that page, and on that page embed the information about taking the assessment and a link that they click that takes them right into the step.
Makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
That
Michael,
make sense?
Michael,
Okay, yes, go ahead.
this is Neil. Where is the package on the website? I'm looking all over, can't find it.
Okay, once again, it'd be nice to move it to the forum at some point, but right now, I'm sorry, to the library, but for now, it is actually under the forum,
Okay.
and then member services,
Oh, okay.
where all the stuff related to member services goes, and then BMI is now available,
Okay.
and then it's right here as an attachment.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
This is John. Do you the 4 pages that have the results? Do you
Yes.
when you set those up in your website? Do you not display them,
No.
or do you display them and let them come back to see it, or how did you set it up?
What's usually done is that those pages are not a part of your navigation, meaning they are, as you say, not displayed. So they are pages hosted by your website, and they could certainly go back to them again, because the email, the thank you email that comes to them, actually has a link to their page, the one that they were linked to. So they can click on the link in the email and go right back to that page again with the results. But it's generally not a page that you would have, outside in your, in your public web space.
Okay, good. Okay.
So I actually left it out of my menus, and then I flagged it so Google wouldn't index it.
There you go.
Michael, when you
That's good. That's good.
sorry,
ahead.
this is Mikey Yulo. When you complete the form to get this set up, you said you're the one that's approving it right now. If you approve it and then later we decide we want to change, so we do require people to put in their name and email, or don't require, whichever, do you have to approve it again, and how long is it usually taking for you to do that?
That's a really good question. How long it takes me to approve, I would say most people would tell you that they got approved within less than an hour, because it comes right to my phone and it goes, and I click on it and go, oh, okay, well, I can get in there and take care of that. But the answer I want you to have is no. Once I've approved it once for you, I don't have to do it again. It's just an approval the first time, and then if you were, let's say, to stop paying for PBCA membership, we would uncheck your approval because you no longer were a part of PBCA. But you can come back to the page anytime, Strategic Partners, just like I did, but edit your business maturity eval, and it will pull back up the information that you had before, and you can come in here and change this at any time. So you change your pages, and you decide to give them different names or something else, or you change your format or decide to stop having thank you sent, or you change your logo and you want to update that, or you change the email address you want it to go to, you can change any of that, and all you have to save eval detail, and it is immediately, that immediately happens with regard to the assessment.
Terrific. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Well, we're running short on time, but I do want to have Cindy do a little bit of discussing about how to promote this and some ideas how to use this to promote, because it's one thing to go through a technical presentation and how to put something on your website, and yet it's another to talk about how do we use this to get business, because that's really what the goal is. So Cindy, you want to kind of start us off on that discussion here?
Sure. I guess the whole point of this is how do you drive traffic to it? And basically, it's kind of similar to your own marketing. The more you can point traffic to it when you're networking, when you're, no matter what you're doing, whenever you meet someone at a networking event and you give them your business card, mention, I've got an assessment on there, why don't you try it? In your marketing efforts, if you do social media, do some posts, take the assessment, and drive traffic to your website. The more people you get to your website and driving traffic to it and getting them to take it, the whole point is it really does work for the business owner that's your target market. So if you have the right target, I know the more traffic you drive to it, the more success you'll have with it. Also, it can be used, if you're doing any sort of speaking engagements. Talk to them about, take the assessment, and I'll send you an ebook or a paper, a white paper, different things like that. Give away something for taking the assessment. If you're in a BNI and you want to stand up and say, I've got something new on my website, I encourage all of you to take my assessment, and next week, whoever does, I'll give you whatever you decide to give away, a free hour consultation, a free white paper, anything that drives traffic to it and gets people to notice it and gets people talking about it. You can work it into your search engine optimization. And even I put on the back of my business card, I recently redid some business cards, and one of the things I put on the back of my business card is take the assessment under my web address. So there's different ways that you can do it, and what Michael and I were thinking is we'd love to get a thread going on the forum about ideas that people have to help people drive traffic to this and success stories of the assessment, and get it working for you, and we want to hear about it.
Wow, Cindy.
What was that?
You are the lickety-split Cindy. That is amazing. You made it through a lot of information really fast.
Hey, I am good at going fast, I tell you. You said I didn't have much time, Michael.
Great, thank you. That was really packed with some good stuff. What do you guys think? What are some thoughts or ideas as you've seen what we've talked about of, what do you think would work for you, and what do you think would be some of the ideas you've heard that you think would help your business? Let's try to end there, and then we will get a forum post going that, or thread, I should say, that we can continue that conversation. But to kind of close us out today, who would like to share some thoughts they have of what they've seen, what they liked, and how they think this could, or what they would like to do to help their business?
Hi, Michael.
Go ahead.
Hi, Michael. This is Davey Shuffler. I was thinking that one of the things that you could do is to include this as a link on a little video that you would do and put on YouTube.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael and Cindy, this is Michael Mills. First of all, thank you very much. Cindy, question, to answer Michael's thought, or what Cindy just said, is I think I can use this at the BNI and just, throw it out on my 60-second or my 10-minute and say, listen, take this assessment, and I'll be glad to give you a complimentary, review of it. Cindy, to your point, you asked, or you said that you can make it work to improve your SEO. How would that work?
I guess it's just one more element for.
Okay. No, thank you. You just answered my question. I hear you. Nope.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, I think what you're saying is it's another way for your page to be recognized.
Right.
And therefore the SEO. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Hey, this is Mark Van Stolk. Am I live here?
Yeah, how are you?
Mark.
Okay. Hi. Thank you so much. This is really an amazing tool, and I wish we had it 5 years ago. I think it's really great. The thing that I really like is, Michael, your categories, the way you name them. That's a very dynamic one. I'd love to have a little bit of a competition on the forum as to who can come up with the best names for the different categories. I also like the business growth index better than the business maturity index because it sort of makes, I don't know, it sounds a little like I'm talking down on people when I talk about maturity, but growth sounds really good. But I'd love to get some interaction going on the forum about what people call the different categories and what they call this index. There's some good ideas out there.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. And we tried to open it up that way so that there were different ways. When I donated a good portion of this this tool to the PBCA, my only stipulation was that the naming that I used was not a part of what I was donating. And so we worked as a team to come up, and I worked as a part of that as well, to come up with some alternate names. And you can see Cindy has some, et cetera, and others, so that there was a somewhat different naming convention. That was the naming that I used, and the model that I had were the things that I reserved for my own practice. But I think I really loved what Cindy came up with. I love developing, growing, flowing, rewarding, and I liked our the other model as well. And I think you're right. I think there's different ways to call it, different unique things that you can bring as a coach, so that you've got something that is kind of your unique spin on this, instead of it having to be something that's only PBCA-ish. And I think that was one of the goals that we had in mind as we put it together, was to enable us as independent coaches to utilize this for our own benefits. So
well,
thank you. I think
you did that very well, and I understand your desire to keep those names your own. So I won't touch them. Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine. But everything else that we have out here, I think, is available for everyone's use, and I think is going to really impact our websites as an alliance. What other questions are there?
This is Joe McCullum. Not a question, but a comment. Thank you. You guys have done a great job. I'm looking forward to when I can get this on my site. It'll take a little bit, but it's on the agenda, front and burner. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Michael and Cindy, this is John Denny. I just wanted to thank you guys again. You guys have put a ton of work into this. This presentation was excellent, very comprehensive, and I'm very excited about the members being able to grow their businesses with this tool, and I'm confident that it's going to work. And you guys, I can't thank you enough. And everybody on this call, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, John.
Thank you all.
Thank you for doing all the work on this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
All right. Sounds like everybody's dropping off now. So Michael and Cindy, I just want to say good night.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys. Hey, you guys did a great job. Nailed it.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hey, Cindy, you saved us with 5 minutes left. You did it. It was great.
Sorry for rushing through it, but